Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to some of y'all, and peace out to the rest of you. Hit the share button because the message is more important than the messenger. So, gentlemen, I am currently driving into work. Today is the last working day of the semester and the school year. This is it. Summer break starts tomorrow. When I go into the office today, I'm only going in for a short time, and I'm going in for a good reason. And that is that it's the last day, and maybe some students are going to want to see me, so I'll go in late. They don't truly require us to go in on a day like today, but I do it anyway because I signed the contract. So I got to put some time in according to the contract, and I'll do it. I will go in and I will upload this, and so that you're probably hearing this uploaded after I've edited it in my office. But I'm going to tell y'all now, my wife finally arrived in the city in which I live. She arrived from the city in which we lived before. And so, due to that, we will be a bit, not even a bit, but quite busy actually with different things that we have to do. We have to, when the car gets in, we have a good bit of unpacking. Things that we have to, mostly her things, but things we'll have to unpack. In addition to that, we will, it's going to be a lot. I'm not going to give up on the channel or on Buy Me a Coffee. I've been backing things up on Odyssey, and I may turn around and back things up on Rumble later, I don't know, but it's going to change the format. Sometimes I'm going to record, but I'm going to have to record shorter than what I used to. And other times I'll have to write. It will depend on which one is easiest at the time. And when I write, I may have to write sometimes on the phone. And when I write on the phone keyboards simply don't write what you wrote. They just add in what they think you meant and how they think you meant to spell it. So if one of you finds that I wrote something and it's misspelled, then just please take the post, run it through a spell check, copy and paste the spell check post into the comment. I will then later copy it and then paste it back into the actual written post later on. I am still going to be making fun of people who post and they can't spell and they can't punctuate, but you can hear the neck rolling and the finger snapping and the attitude in the back of your head when you read their post. Still doing it. Because why the nuck fought? So there will be more written posts there. There must be. I'll have to do it that way. The other thing too is it's going to take even longer for me to get through emails. It's kind of lifestyle I live, even though we're on summer vacation at this point. My wife and I are going to be busy settling, unpacking, moving things. We're busy with the moving process. I mean, she now lives here, but we got paperwork to do because she doesn't work for the old employer anymore. It's a good bit. We got all that going on. And so that's why it may be more chaotic and sporadic in terms of when I post, but also how I do it. I am now at the campus, and I'm going to go into the campus. I'm going to go into the office, give students who want to meet for any last minute concerns a chance to do it, because that's the job, that's the contract. I will edit this and upload it, probably write some posts too. And then I'll go home at the end, and my wife and I are going to get into the process of some grocery shopping, some exercise, and adjusting to this heat. It is warm here. Now, where she's coming from was not the coast. So while it's warm there, it's also warm and dry. And here, the humidity is now at a medium level. And it's about to become sweltering within another week and a few days. That's when it will really swelter. It will be so humid that there will barely be any wind. Like what you hear now, it won't be there in a little bit. It'll just be straight heat and humidity. If there was more greenery around, you would hear the sounds of cicadas and crickets. It would be like Mississippi or Alabama in August. Yeah, it's a lot. But the message continues. As I've stated, the message is more important than the messenger. And I still count it as important that I give you information that is going to help you when I do. And there's a lot that goes into this. I mean, I have to record multiple times because I'm always interrupted. I have to edit. There are times I edit and then I find out that half of it is silent, even though the sound file was not. But when I add it into video, it happens sometimes. There are times I find out that the sound file itself is half silent, just mute halfway because of some interruption on the phone while I was recording. I find all of this stuff out. And there may be some days I go to the office. And I go into the office, I might even do a live stream because the internet at work is great. It is excellent. And there'll be other times I may go unable to do that. May not be able to. I don't know. I don't have much time. That's the thing. It's not a lot of free time. This last semester, I had more free time than I expected because, especially during Ramadan, there started to come days where just nobody showed up. It's not like that now. We now have days where I'm not going to have to go into work, but I'm going to be busy doing paperwork as part of my wife's move and the end of her employment with the last employer, and my business in Asia, and trying to get other things in order, some of which actually do involve relatives back stateside. Stay alert. I'm not abandoning those of you, especially you young guys that are trying to navigate through a lot of confusion. I'm not abandoning you. But stay alert because I'll just be tied up with multiple things, that's all. And I will record when I can think of something that will help. Or that should help. And I still ask you to share the messages with somebody you know can benefit from them. But there's one other thing. Since I'm going to be doing this in spoken and written form, going back and forth between them, I will ask you all to do something for me. When I write, I'm going to pay attention to how I write. Because, as you know, I need to spell properly and punctuate properly. But the thing is, I know more about writing than the keyboards do. The keyboard is something else. So I'm going to ask you guys to pay attention to how I spell and capitalize and punctuate. Because if we're going to spread this message, it will be important on a subconscious level that these things are correct. If you catch an error, just write the correction for the error for me in a comment. I will turn around and cut and paste it back into the message later on if I'm having a hard time with a small keyboard like on the phone. I will do my best to avoid writing on small keyboards like the phone keyboard. I'll try not to do that. I'll try my best, but I can't guarantee. If I have a choice, I'll go to a full-size keyboard. If I have a choice. But if I don't, then I have to do it on a phone. And that's even worse at times. But if you catch an error, just write the correction for it. I will cut and paste it in the right place in the original post. Pay attention to the message, but also be willing to learn from the written form of the message, because our enemies oftentimes are nigliterate. But there are those of us that are just as nigliterate, and we don't want to be bothered with learning how to write correctly in our first language. And that is not excusable. As I've stated, that's not the Malcolm X standard. And we do the Malcolm X standard around here. Now, if you want to call it a different name, the Malik Shabazz standard is a good name for it. If you want to call it any of these things, then feel free. But understand that that standard is what is important. It's even more important than whether it's called the Malcolm X standard or the Malik Shabazz standard or anything else. And that's pretty important. The naming is, but the standard itself is the most important thing. And we don't do nigliteracy and niglish in the black manosphere. Accountable Commentary says, shout out to black men, and I agree with him, but we do have to earn it. It is a true statement because we earn it, but we have to earn it in multiple things. Anything that we do frequently, we must earn it in that, and that includes writing. We write a lot. We speak a lot. And these are things that should be done correctly. There's even a correct way to write in AAVE. If that is what you prefer to use and speak, there's a right way to do it even there. Capitalization and punctuation rules are still the same. If you want to write down, I don't eat much, no, then it is IONEENMUCH KNOW, spaces in between them, full stop at the end, a period. Why is that? Because phonetically, that's what it is. You don't write NO, and it's KNOW, because NO is another no, and that's another word with another meaning. That's why we have to pay attention to this, because if we don't, we will undermine our own message. And the question is, do you want to undermine your own message? Is that what you seek to do? If you are okay with undermining your own message, be my guest. I don't recommend it for anybody, though. That is going to be one of the distinguishing marks between us and our opponents. You can look at this lady right now on Facebook. I think her name's Lisa Taylor, but I could be wrong. I forgot it. I'm sorry. I'm bad with names. But she is illiterate. She's nigliterate. But she just recently had a baby by a dude that she found out was married with other kids in addition to the ones he told her about. Talking about his youngest was 15. Turned out he got 3 that are still kids and he married, and the wife don't care about him stepping out and having outside babies. Now, I'm going to tell y'all straight. Dude was fornicating. The adultery, actually. That's bad. But ain't none of us out here trying to justify what this dude was doing. We're simply looking at her and saying, okay, this is the role you played in that. What did he do? Spit some game in your ear and you believe that? Okay, why did you? Because there are other guys that really could have been telling you the truth, but you would have found a reason to not be with them. Marry before you carry. You know what? Should have done that. But did you do it? No. No, you were wild. You can't read. You can't write in English. You don't know about punctuation. You nigliterate. You was a party chick when you were in school. You're undisciplined. We can tell by your writing that you are. And then later on, you got with an undisciplined dude. And he lied to you to pit the gussy. And you paved him the gussy. Raw. And that's what happened. Now you a single mom. Now you a single mom. You let him hit it raw. You didn't have second thoughts. Now you a single mom. Now you single mom. You say you're gonna have his kid. You decided to have his kid. Didn't care if he was there or not. Now you a single mom. Now you a single mom. Shout out to Brandon Jamal. There ain't no good men, but you B word stay pregnant. Says everything right there. And the way she wrote, I could have told you based on how she would, if I had seen her post before this, I could have told you by the way she was writing that she was a single mom. Even if she was not at that time, I could have told you that she was or was going to be one based on simply how she wrote. Hope this is a benefit. We'll talk more later. Thanks for listening.